Here we go. Oh, the colors. I'm loving the thematic coloring here between our players. And here we go. In the bottom right hand corner, we have the purple Terran player representing himself, and also a random clan Kremki. Not clan Cranky. Do not be confused. We have the South Korean Terran player living in the land of Japan. It is Hon Mono. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Filipino Zerg player representing himself. The pink Zerg. It is enderr. And here we go. Pink versus purple. Oh, and Hon Mono already going to be kicking things off with a proxy again. Especially if this is your first introduction to Hon Mono, he is the cheesiest Terran player in Southeast Asia, in even Korea as well, and he is going for a proxy 2-rack second. No, sorry, 3 SCVs are moving out. It's going to be a proxy 3-racks here from Hon Mono, far out over on the right-hand side, very far away, but going to be very committed here from our Terran player. I want to play Duck. Can you hook me up? You're an animal. You're an animal. Este Babyling. Playing KSL. Playing KSL. Meanwhile, enderr reading his opponent very well here, going for a gas pool opener. Very aggressive opener here from enderr. With a faster spawning pool, he will have access to faster queens, faster link speed as well. So with this more aggressive opener from enderr, this will fare him better here against the build, the all-in of Hon Mono. As enderr is even scouting with his overlord, he's checking over on the right-hand side. Is he barely going to see this? He does see the SCV, and he catches wind of the Raxes as well. Again, Hon Mono has done this to enderr before on this very map, except here on the bottom, when enderr was spawning in the bottom right. So, a little bit of deja vu here as Hon Mono, he's going for the same proxy, the same cheese. Raxes are being thrown down. Spawning pool. Spine Crawler is already on the way. Link speed in production. Enderr pulling out of gas, and the Lings have arrived. The Lings have arrived. Raxes are being thrown down, and enderr, he's gonna try to deny these bunkers here. Can he do so? The Lings are dealing with the Marines. Meanwhile, the Queen focusing down the SCV, but one bunker will finish. I do think that enderr is overextending quite a bit here with the completion of this bunker. Hon Mono, he has an anchor point. He can chase down this queen. The queen is going to go down. Things are not looking good for enderr. Again, he did overextend. Did overcommit. Spinecrawler has arrived. Lings are being shaved off. Enderr already doing so much damage to this base. Back at home, he's trying to transition. He's working on his gases. Lings have arrived, but we have 2 bunkers. We already have 2 bunkers. SCVs are being targeted down. Both of them will fall, but the Lings are being cleaned up. Oof. Yeah, there's just too much DPS. The 3rd SCV comes in to repair, and it looks like Hon Mono is looking to take a game number 1, looking to take a lead in the series. enderr just does not have enough. A queen goes down. The hatchery as well. enderr, he is down in workers, down in economy. And Hon Mono, he does successfully pull off the proxy back at home. He's expanding, he's transitioning, working on a factory, taking his gases. GG gets called. And Hon Mono will take game number 1. Oh, GG. GG, well played again. enderr just pulling the trigger a little bit prematurely, a little bit too early. As I'm trying to set up the logos mod. But yeah, did pull the trigger too early, wasn't able to quite shut down those bunkers, and because he committed so hard upon not killing those bunkers, I mean, that was it, that was game at that point. Hon Mono had already done more than enough damage, and he got the hatchery as well, just to top it off. And just like that, Hon Mono does take a lead in this series. Oh boy, can he take the entire series here 2-0, or can enderr fight back? I know he can, but will he? There are a few contestants for the title. in existence. It's possible, man. It's possible. Here we go, spawning in the top right-hand corner of Royal Blood. We have the South Korean Terran player living in the land of Japan, up 1-0 in this best-of-3 series, looking to claim or looking to advance on to the grand finals. It is Hon Mono. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Filipino Zerg player. The best player in all the Philippines, down in the series, but not out. It is enderr. And this time, Hon Mono is going for a 2 racks opener. So after cheesing in game 1, Hon Mono is going to go for something a little bit more standard. It is going to be 2 racks here on the low ground for, of course, an abundance of Reapers for map control to eventually expand and get into a more standard macro game. As cheesy as Hon Mono is, he can play macro. He can play out a longer game, and honestly, his bio control is pretty damn good. He does have some very good target firing, some very good control overall. As back at home, enderr is going for a hatch gas pool, a standard opener here from enderr. Likewise, a standard opener from Hon Mono. So everything is above the belt. Everything is as it should be. As the Raxes are on the way, we can see enderr, he's scouting for those proxies. Meanwhile, you don't see it. The turtle is out. The turtle has arrived. I was meant to have this on earlier, but finally I have rectified the logos mod. It's beautiful. Look at him wave. And he has no pants. What more could you ask for in a turtle? It's beautiful. As the initial Reapers are in production. And again, Hon Mono, he should be only working on 3 Reapers. From here, he should be expanding. Should be transitioning into a longer game. The first Reaper has arrived. There's the second and the third Reaper on the way. Back at home, enderr just going to be droning. Because he was looking for proxies, his scout of this is going to be a little bit delayed. His overlords are going to be arriving a little bit later across the map. And enderr is looking to expand. Meanwhile, I appreciate this. He did actually prioritize link speed. It's already in production. First Reaper has arrived so far. Good control out of enderr. Doesn't lose anything yet. Oh. But one Ling is going to finally go down. The additional Reaper has arrived. The jig is up. Finally, enderr is aware of the 2 racks opener from his opponent. We'll see if enderr can hold on to this third. So, because the third base has been taken, this should trigger Hon Mono to continue making Reapers. And there we go. We have a 4th and 5th Reaper on the way. The goal here for Hon Mono, he should only be making 5 Reapers at most, is to force a cancel on this third. Oh, but he wants more than just a third base. He goes for the Queens. A greedy move here from Hon Mono. He could have secured damage here by getting the third base, but he does waste a lot of DPS here at the natural instead. Now he goes for the third, but link speed is about to finish up. enderr, he could save this. Back at home, Hon Mono, he's going for a third CC. That was even before factory, so a very fast third CC here from Hon Mono. Link speed is now done, and I do think that, again, there's barely any HP left here, and this could have been, like, if Hon Mono was focusing on this hat-trick from the beginning, then he could have gotten it. But here we go, link speed has finished up. Can enderr save his base? Hon Mono gonna try to dance with these lings. He wants that hatchery, puppy. Gonna be threading those queens. Does dip back to the third base. Getting a lot of damage dealt. A lot of damage done. He does get a queen. Does get one queen. He's gonna get a second queen as well. Good target firing from Hon Mono. Oh, he's just getting so much value out of this, but he will not get the hatchery. enderr will save his base. And was this worth it? Looking at the units lost type here, 5 Reapers for 15 Lings and 2 Queens. It was pretty good for Hon Mono. On top of that, he does have his add-ons safely behind the wall, as opposed to how it would have been if he was spawning in the bottom location. Lings do go for a big counterattack. Bunker is cancelled. Hon Mono knows he doesn't need it. And he should be safe and sound. enderr has to just drone from this position. He has to focus on his queen production as well. I think it's worth it, especially because Homono went for a third CC before factory. So Homono, he can make 3 SCVs at a time. Can look to expand momentarily as well. And Homono is safe. Behind this, enderr is looking to go, I think, all in. He throws out a roach horn. We have 8 roaches on the way. Third gas geyser as well, and enderr is not saturating this third base. Now, because his factory was so delayed, we have delayed Hellions, we have delayed tanks. This roach push can actually do a lot of damage. This all-in could be devastating. Here we go. Roaches are on the way. Ravagers are being morphed in. We're just making a massive wave of lings. Again, enderr, he is going for one big all-in. If he can get a surround of these marines, if he can get into the natural base with the wall down, he can end the game. Oh, especially because we're not making Hellions, we're going for Widow Mines instead. A very risky move here from Honmono. There it is, the mines have been revealed. And they are going to be going down. They can be targeted as well by the vials. Boys are being pulled. The Widow Mines, they do borrow. Ooh, but the friendly fire is insane. One does go down. 15 SCVs fall in an instant, and enderr, he's busting up into the main base. Boys are being pulled. So many workers are going down. And we do have Stim. We can focus on the Ravagers at least. But these lings are going ham, and the tech lab, is it going to finish? The repair is clutch, but no, the tech lab does go down. And with that, enderr, he cripples the economy, getting 26 workers from here. He is droning. But I almost want to say that Homono's in a better position. He may be down in workers, but he can make 3 SCVs at a time, and he has access to that third orbital for even more mules. A lot of the Marines survived as well. He may not have combat shields. Oh, he does mule accidentally. He may not have combat shields, but he does have Stim. He's boosting up into the main. Queens are in position. The high... Oh my god. The full medevac is being targeted down. Up! The Queens will fall. Does get the medevac. And we have a game. We have a game. Both players just focusing on their economies. enderr was able to do enough to stabilize and to equalize. But I do still want to give the edge to Honmono. Especially with his upgrades kicking in. 1-1 is done for the Terran. Lings are going for a big counterattack, and there's nothing in position. SCVs and mules are going to be going down. Big pickoffs here for enderr. 4 SCVs. Honmono just not in position. And enderr, he takes an even greater worker lead here, as he's droning up so heavily. Behind this is working on his own 1-1. Roach speed. Lair is done, taking his gases. enderr is getting fully saturated on 3 bases. We'll see if he saturates his 4th. It may just be for lava. enderr could be looking to go for one big 1-1 timing with Roach Ravager. And it's going to hit like a truck. But before that happens, Honmono is in the field. The upgrades aren't done yet. Honmono still has map control. He can still do some equalizing damage. He's getting a couple of overlords here and there. Is going to be supply blocking enderr for a moment. Sibs on 4, takes down some Ravagers. Big pickoffs here for Honmono. 3, 4 Ravagers go down. Honmono fighting his heart out, fighting back as best he can. Takes down some more tumors. And upon killing all those Ravagers as well, we can see that enderr, like, a lot of the wind has been taken out of his sails. He's working on burrow and tunneling claws. He's going to be going for a later timing. I mean, I say that enderr is on 3-base saturation. He isn't making any drones. He's not saturating his 4th until now. Okay, no, never mind. He has 3 more drones on the way. 66 drones in total, but he's still focusing on Roach Ravager. Up! enderr trying to catch Homeowner not looking. He's trying to catch him, Papi. As Homeowner has been able to build up quite a sizable army. Again, enderr may be up in supply, but that is inflated supply. Roach Ravager is not the most efficient unit composition. Outside of Biles, I want to favor Homeowner here. He's got a terrifying army. Roach Ravager is going to try to push on forward. Tank is going to get biled down, but there are so many Marines. Yeah, Homeowner, he can just stim on into this. Fourth base is exposed. And without splash damage, how can enderr really fight this? He's going to try to. A tank is going to go down. Marines, once again, stim on forward, take down a line of roaches. They get on top of the Ravagers. And Homeowner, again, he's just trading so well here. He's going to be forced back eventually, but he's getting even more Ravagers. It's just too much. enderr, he's taking too many losses here. You can see the disparity in the resources lost. enderr, he's lost 41 roaches, 14 ravagers, almost 2,500 gas down the drain. Homeowner, he's lost a lot of minerals, but I mean, hey, that's minerals. He can just make more and more of these Marines. He can just trade out Marines for days. Meanwhile, Homeowner just consolidating his army, getting ready for a massive Doom drop. We do have... Oh, God, he sees! He does spot the roaches. Goes for the scan. enderr doing what he can here to get even more damage done. He's going to get some workers. 6 SCVs go down. Well, here comes that Doom drop. How good are the Biles going to be? Oh! Does force a pickup, but Homeowner from here, he can just go straight to the main. Just boost on in. And Homeowner is getting out of control. With this drop in the main base, he can target down these Evo chambers. He can go for the lair if he wanted to. Gets a second Evo chamber, denies +2 carapace. Having his way here with these bases. enderr is getting his 4th base back up and running. He was able to do some damage across the map, but Homeowner, Jesus, he is not slowing down with his SV production. The Biles don't quite connect with the medevacs. Yeah, Homeowner, he scans. I'm sure he's feeling pretty good about the fact that there is no base here on the right-hand side. He knows how far ahead he is. But where are the tanks? The tanks are in the natural. The 3rd base is going to be forfeit. A lot of workers are going down. Can we buy the tank? Oh! Not quite. A lot of tank shells are going to be going off on this army. enderr bleeding out a lot of his units. Units he can't really afford to lose. At the same time, Tunneling Claw Roach is heading towards the natural base. enderr going to be wreaking quite a bit of havoc here. He does catch a tank for free. Homeowner being pulled out of position. enderr is pulling Homeowner apart. Is it going to be enough as the roaches do waddle into the main base at the same time? enderr pushing towards the 4th. He does drag a lot of the army out of position, but there are still forces here at the 3rd base. Regardless, SCVs are going down. 30 SCVs. enderr turning water into wine. He was dead. Things were not looking good at all for our Zerg player, but with the Roach counterattacks with the Tunneling Claw Roaches, he's hitting left and right. And I do think he wants those tanks. I don't think he's going to quite be able to get them, though. Does manage to snipe 1 tank in the end. Again, dragging Homeowner back to the center. At the same time, enderr comes in. He wants that 4th base. It is burning. Mule is going to keep it alive, though. There's a mule repairing. 4th base will survive. Homeowner, does he have a scan? He does have a scan available. Meanwhile, enderr, he hasn't made a single worker. He's he's just transferring his workers over. Maintaining his economy. He wants to dive on this army, and there we go. We do have a big scan. Oof, a lot of roaches go down. Oh my, the move command! enderr, this is not it. This is not the fight. He's losing far too many roaches. He cannot go toe-to-toe with this marine army. It's not happening. Ay, ay, ay. That was 34 roaches. He just lost 34 roaches for 7 marines. Like, that's how efficiently this army trades. Like, that's... You can't fight this head on. And enderr, he just found out the hard way. 34 roaches. My god. And just like that, Homeowner is still in this. enderr may have the better economy, but he has the worse army. And enderr, he can't take a trade like that. Not again. Not again, Papi. So here we go. We do see enderr trying to rotate around, trying to find another angle of attack. The tanks are looking a little bit exposed. He could try to bow them down. Oh, that's a lot of Ravagers. Oh my, enderr? The biles are going to help a little bit, but these Ravagers, they need support. They need support, Papi, not on their own. Biles are doing what they can, but the Marine Marauder steaming on top of the Ravagers is going to take down the majority of them. Again, another very expensive loss for enderr. He's on the back foot. And Homeowner, he gets across the map with his Marines, with his Marauders. He's going to be able to focus on the 4th base without too much issue. Thankfully, enderr, he's taking the center base. He can transfer his workers. Homeowner gets his economy back up and running. He's fully saturated on 3 bases. He's getting his 4th base saturated as well. And he's just refining his army, getting more tanks, more Marauders. Without infestors, without fungals, enderr, he can't really go toe-to-toe with this army. Not anymore. Earlier, he, as I say that, we have the infestation bit on the way. That will help. That will help. As Homeowner is just rotating between the bases, going for scans, gets eyes on the new 4th base of enderr, and that's going to be his next target, immediately making a beeline for that hatchery. enderr is working on his infestation bit, which will grant him access to infestors, but it may just be too late. Because Homeowner, he's sending everything across the map. He's got 3-3, he's got some tanks, he has man with gun. He doesn't even need the tanks. Oh, he's taking bombs to the face! Wait, he takes so many balls to the face, and just like that, enderr, he takes a fight. Oh my god. That's exactly what enderr needed. Homeowner did not split at all. He did not respect the vials, and he's going to be losing his 3rd. Or he may lose the 3rd. It does take a lot of vials. enderr is bleeding out a lot of units though. Like, enderr, he doesn't really have the economy to sustain this. He needs another hatchery soon. Pathogen glands are on the way. Infestors on the horizon. With that fight, enderr, he's still got this a little bit. I appreciate the roaches going to be tunneling on in. The Ravagers have been spotted. Oh no, the Ravagers! 2 Ravagers go down. The job comes in from behind. Once again, enderr bleeding out a lot of units. Far too many units. At the same time, he does unburrow those roaches. He's getting a lot of SCVs. But he does pay a price for it. Here we go. Looking at the unit side, we now have 2 infestors with the army. Let's go. Pathogen glands is done. Infestors have arrived. And suddenly, with infestors, enderr, he can take a fight. Suddenly, the quality of this army spikes up. We need like one good fungal and some biles. And enderr, he can clean up this bio army. And here we go. The first bile is sorry, the first fungal does connect. A bit of a chain fungal as well, but we only had enough energy for 2 fungals. enderr, he has to back off. Does have to back off. Homeowner picks up his main, floats it over as his 5th. Meanwhile, the Roach Ravager rotates over towards the 4th base. Oh, and the 4th does go down. Hey, can enderr bring it back? He's so close. 3 more infestors in production. Here we go, as enderr does get eyes on the 5th base. Tank, it does siege. Oh, this is not a good fight for enderr. He does have to back off. Again, he needs those fungals. The tank survives. As the Marines, they stim on 4, they take down a lot of these overlords, but big fungals cleans up the bio army. enderr heavily supply blocked. That was what, 7 overlords going down. Brutal. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of resources down the drain. Meanwhile, Homeowner does hold on to that center base. Homeowner getting in position at the same time. A big roach run by here at the 3rd. Fungals connect. Up. Fungals connect. Biles connect as well. enderr has to be careful to overextend. He has to preserve these infestors. Has to keep them alive. Babysit them back. As he's looking to take another hatchery. Let's go. He's already got his own 5th, now working on a 6th. enderr soon about to max. Rocks are going down. Homeowner, this tank count's getting pretty insane though. Like, with all these tanks, we cannot push into this position. Gonna be able to pick off 1 tank here towards the right-hand side. enderr finding another way in, does connect with another fungal. But it's still so difficult to push into this. Does manage to bring down, I want to say, 3 of those medevacs. But here comes a drop across the map, and enderr cannot keep up. Every single drone is going to go down. No! He doesn't pull the workers away in time. Bit of miscontrol from enderr. 20 drones go down, and that may just be it. 23 even. This one drop crippling the economy of enderr. He was coming back. He was bouncing back in this game. He has a hive on the way and baneling speed. But 23 drones, that is a massive loss for enderr. Good. Biles will connect. We're running out of fungals, running out of infestors. Homeowner has a lot of momentum going his way. enderr's having a hard time remaxing. He lost a lot of his economy earlier. He can't rebuild. Roach is going for these big run-bys though. There's nothing at home to defend. So Homeowner may have killed 23 workers, but now SCVs are going down in every single base. 14 SCVs in total and counting. Ay, ay, ay. And Homeowner, does he turn around? He does not. He's pushing through. He knows he has a massive army lead. And we're going for a base trade. We are straight up base trading. Center base is going to go down. Homeowner getting on top of these fringe bases, though, of enderr. What does enderr do? Does he turn around? He does. He turns back around. Good fungal, but there's so many tanks. There's so many tanks here. enderr, he gives up on these bases. 20 more drones go down. The economy in shambles for both players. As we see one infestor going down immediately. Good fungal on this drop. But again, Homeowner, he's up when it comes to his economy. He's up in workers, up in army supply. He's pushing forward with these tanks, and there's no answer to the tanks. There is no answer to just this encroaching army of Homeowner. enderr, what can he do? He's going for a counterattack. Oh, the bios! The bios connect. Homeowner, he's trading well. At the same time, sorry, enderr is trading well. Homeowner is pushing through. As enderr, he takes down the last mining base of Homeowner. With enough lings, can enderr pull this off? He does not have neural. He does have burrow, so he can burrow in with his infestors. Do we pull the boys to break this? Hatcheries are going down. Homeowner taking a hidden base. Oh, I love this. No, he scans! He sees! No! That may be it. Big scan taking down a lot of roaches. 14 roaches go down. Ay, ay, ay. And yeah, enderr, he knows he can't fight this. He cannot fight this. He goes for another counterattack. He cannot touch this army. Finds more SCVs. Don't waste a Bailey. Bailings do get used up on these SCVs. Homeowner is working his way up into the main. enderr just squeezing out as much as he can. He's down to one hatchery. He barely has any larva. There we go. The boys are being pulled. It's all or nothing. Ideally, he waits for the unsiege. You do have to be really patient. The problem is that he can't wait because Homeowner is still mining, so he's making more units. He has a second army back at home. That's how far ahead Homeowner is. He's on double the army supply. The only way that enderr can win this is if Homeowner is caught unsieged. And that's just not going to happen. Homeowner, he can win the game with either one of these armies. enderr hasn't rebuilt his bases. He's down to a gas geyser on the right, a gas geyser on the left, a spore crawler. He's looking for more mining bases. Homeowner has done it. It was such a back and forth. There were high points for both players and low points for both players. But yeah, upon seeing the army back at home, I think enderr should realize that there is no way he can really fight back against this. The boys are being pulled, and GG gets called. Homeowner will take the series at 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals.